your ball in the trees and then you lip out the putt. But if you've got a little time, then come and spend it with us, 'cause now you're listening to the Rough Cut.
Hello, and welcome down to the Rough Cut Golf Podcast, where you join us in the delightful surroundings of a Premier Inn in Taunton, which, let me tell you, isn't the most cosmopolitan place that we've ever done a podcast from. However, I am joined by two of the most influential people in this room. It's Kieran and it's Mick, co-hosts of the Rough Cut Golf Podcast, and we are in a Premier Inn in Taunton because we are almost at the climax of a Fairway Down, which has seen me cycle from the most northerly course in the UK to the most southerly, a 1,000-mile adventure stopping at 10 courses along the route and playing golf at them all to greater or lesser extent of a professional standard. We have also been raising money for the British Heart Foundation, and so far at the point of this recording, I think we've raised about £15,000. So we're doing pretty well.
Yeah. Does that feel like a lot?
It does feel a lot.
Because it's like way more than I thought we were going to get.
Yeah, but apparently I was speaking to someone at the Bristol the other day with like the gift aid as well. It's like 17, because I thought gift aid is included, but it's not.
No, it's
like,
not. No. So we're going to be upwards of, I think, hopefully by the end of this trip, we're going to be upwards of 20k. So that's an amazing amount to raise for the British Heart Foundation. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has donated so far, and if you haven't and you haven't caught up on the videos at all, if you go over to the main channel, if you want to look at that, Finch Golf, look for the Fairway Down playlist. All the videos are on there that we've done so far, and I think there'll be 9 on there right now with only 1 to go, which is going to be pretty impressive. 9 or 8.
This is our how many have we done?
Yeah, there'll be 8 on when people are listening to this or watching this.
Yeah, so they'll...
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah, 8.
That's right.
But we've been to 9, so we've got Bristol to edit over the next, literally 2 days.
It's going to be a tight one.
Yeah, it's going to be a tight one.
It's a good old turnaround.
It's not that. It's not going to be that tight.
No?
No, it's not.
Let's get your act together. You'll be fine.
Yeah,
We've got it covered.
It's not like it's 18 holes, 2 people, 2 shots.
Oh yeah, scramble. It's easy.
Actually, yeah, it's not too bad.
We're all playing from the same place.
Yeah, exactly,
that does make life easier, and the fact that you shot quite a low score makes life easier because there's far fewer shots to track.
I was about to say I'm on the front 9 as well, so the front 9 is particularly good.
Yeah.
I'm going to have some fun with the back 9. Don't worry about that.
You're going to have some fun with the back 9.
Have some real fun.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get comfortable on this horrendously uncomfortable thing.
It's like a chaise
longue.
longue.
I would like to lean against the wall, but Kieran thought it would be a good idea to adjust the angle of it so it's at a more jaunty angle. Like for no apparent reason. What's also really kind of freaked me out is why you moved the bed on a jaunty angle as well.
I think we should have podcasted from the bed.
Do you think? I think that would have been a bit more comfortable.
Yeah, we could all just sat in a line.
I'm actually a little surprised that you've not suggested that we do somewhere else as well. Like normally your suggestions are way wilder than this.
Yeah, I actually thought that we were going to be doing it in reception.
Yeah, well today, do you know what? I read the room and I'm just like, do you know what? Let's just try and make the best out of this. Out of this room.
I actually thought we were doing it from the beer garden next door.
Do you know what?
That'd been great.
From the Beefeater.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what.
We can stop this podcast.
We'll cut back to it in a minute from the beer garden. No, we won't, because it took ages to get all this set up.
And we're still here.
And we're here. Welcome back. So yeah, the last time that you guys podcasted, I wasn't actually here because I was, at home finishing off some videos which are yet to see the light of day. The last time we saw you were Windermere.
Windermere, indeed. Yep.
Which was very rainy, Peter Finch.
It wasn't very rainy. It was horrendous. It was the worst day of my life.
And what's more, it was your birthday.
Yeah, I know. I turned a year older and got semi-drowned. It was an ongoing waterboarding all day. That's what it was like.
You had like your entire year's worth of rain in that single day.
A year's worth of what?
Of rain.
Of rain. Right. A refrain or something like that. Yeah, I thought you said something really fancy.
It's been a very... Well, I've not quite got the vocabulary of Peter Finch, but we're getting there.
You've been listening to obviously a lot of audiobooks in the last what day are we on? 17 now, and I have noticed a vast increase in vast increase in your vocabulary. It's been great to see.
What are you trying
what-
to say? You're trying to say I was a thicko before? Is that what
No,
you're trying to say?
No.
Not at all.
You had a wide and varied vocabulary, but it is ever expanding.
Yeah,
The word miasma came out.
Yeah, yeah.
In the Bristol video, which was lovely.
It's the fact that now you are using it sort of on command. Like you're in front of 70. Yesterday we were at the Bristol and there's about 70 people. And you brought out words that I'd never heard of before. And I imagine...
That's not that tough for you though, really, is it?
Well,
mate?
no, it's not. But I imagine a lot of the people...
When was the last
will
time you read a
understand.
book? We had this conversation the other day. What was the last time you read?
No, I haven't read one in a long time.
Was it Biff, Chip and Kipper?
Yeah, Biff, Chip and Kipper, yeah.
And Kipper, is that a new character?
No,
No,
that's...
he's the small blonde one.
Yeah, yeah,
and the
yeah.
dog's called Floppy.
Yeah, but he comes in later in the stages, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like-
you have to get to like blue to get Kipper.
like key stage 3 sort of stuff.
I can't say I've read this particular series of novels, but I will.
I'll tell you what, I don't
will
know.
get
I
around
don't
to
know
it.
if the audiobook would last very long for
No.
you, mate.
Right,
I'm
okay.
completely honest.
I got that.
If you were looking for for it to last a whole 5-hour bike ride, I think
You're out of luck on that one,
you'll be
unfortunately.
done in half an hour. We'll bleep that out.
That's bleeped out. Well done, whoever's editing it.
Yeah.
Probably you.
Probably me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So the Windermere was very wet, Pete. It was your birthday, and then you cycled to where? Where did you end up?
So we've gone from Windermere to Preston.
We did.
Stayed at home in Preston, my mum and dad's. Got to see the dog, which was nice. From Preston, we skedoodled down to Sandyway, played Matt Nixon. That video is currently out. If you've not watched that already, you're going to be hearing a lot of that in a second.
Before we progress down the country, I just want to stop you back and
He's stopping me
I
again.
am.
Stopping you.
I'm
It's
stopping
what we've done a lot of this
I've
trip.
been doing
Is
a-
stop Pete.
Yeah, I'm stopping Pete and I'm just stopping him in his tracks, unfortunately. But what I was going to say about Preston, obviously you spent time with your parents. Was it nice to have a bit of motherly and fatherly love while you were there?
Yeah.
Because
suppose.
she done your washing. She made some beautiful ragu. Or was that Chris that
I
made
think it
it?
was my dad that made
Yeah,
it.
Your dad knocked up the ragu.
Yeah. And then all this sort of stuff.
Cleaned your bike for you, didn't he?
Exactly. Just a little bit of like
It was lovely.
I didn't let him clean my bike.
You didn't let him clean the
Didn't let
bike.
him clean my
No?
bike. No.
He was well
Oh.
interested in that, wasn't he?
But that was that nice to have?
Yeah, it was okay, I suppose.
Right.
Like everything's. It was good, but everything's just been in passing. Like we've been doing this for almost 20 days now. So wherever we've been stopping, we've stopped here, Taunton. We're going to be here a maximum of 10 hours, I'd say, something like that. And then we're on again. So it's nice in passing. It was nice to relax for a little bit, but we also did a meet-up.
Which was good.
So, in total, probably only spent maybe an hour or two with my parents. So.
Yeah, that's true.
and I think I got the only clip of the entire trip where he's sat on a comfortable chair
having a
having
coffee.
a cup of tea or a coffee. There's it's about a 5-second clip that's in the video somewhere, and it's Pete actually relaxing for the
Yeah.
first time in 2 weeks.
That ragu, by the way, was
Unreal.
wonderful.
Yeah, it was decent.
Really
Very
good.
decent.
Great-
I think
great work.
I think I need some carbs today.
Yeah, really,
And-
really
Yeah,
good.
you've been working hard, haven't you?
Yeah, to be honest, I do feel like I've kind of reached. I've reached a bit of a wall at the moment. I feel really tired today. I'm shattered, and I've got the worst day ever tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow
tomorrow's-
is going to be a big one.
Tomorrow is not only going to be a physical test for you, it is going to be a big mental test. And I know something like that we've spoken about before, about a couple of people have asked in the past, why hasn't Pete, advanced his golf career? And I've asked you this question, why did Quest for the Open not, go in the direction you would like? And you've always said that your mental game was something that held you back a little bit. You're going to need that tomorrow, because tomorrow is not only going to be physical, but a mental struggle for you as well. So you need sleep, and you need carbs, and you probably need 2 coffees tomorrow morning.
I think we're going to need more than 2. What I'm really annoyed about is the bag that we've lost. Well, not lost, that we left at Dundonald. That had my thermos in it.
I've got a thermos you can borrow.
I kept that quiet.
You didn't say
Did
anything
it?
about missing I've literally got one
Oh, I
with
didn't-
audio stickers all over it. You can have.
I didn't know you had a secret thermos flask.
Oh,
Also, one from Birkhill Valley gave one as well.
yeah. The guys from Burhill Valley.
Why
gave
didn't you
us-
tell me about that one either?
No, I don't know if that's a hot water jobby though. That's
it
a
not?
cold. That's a cold jobby.
Oh, right, okay.
I'll have cold coffee.
Yeah. No. Well, we can make we'll make you a travel coffee.
That might not be a bad idea. But I need to plan. We need to plan that route out anyway, and see see what stops I can make. So I'm going to have to make a couple of stops at least.
I think
trip.
so, yeah. So how many miles are you looking at tomorrow?
It's going to be over 80, I think. It's 81, 82.
Yeah,
which is, it's a long way to cycle anyway. Like that's a long way.
Great
descriptive
vocabulary. The vocab failed in there.
Increasing. It's going to be a long distance, but it's super hilly as well. So it's very up and down. I think I've got about 4,000 foot of climb to do. So it's just going to be a day of just crap. It's just going to be crap. And I know it's going to be crap. I know I'm going to be feeling terrible, and yet I've still got to do it. I feel like I'm walking up to a particularly agonizing gallows, and I'm doing it voluntarily. I'm not like being forced. Like I could actually just say, you know what, I'm not getting out of bed today, but I'm actually willingly going to punish myself.
Yeah.
And I'm struggling to reconcile that, if I'm going to be honest with you.
What's the like closest golf analogy for people who are watching and or listening? Like where are you at with your mental and physical strength? Put it in golf terms for us so that golfy people can understand.
Okay, I've got a really bad case of the shanks.
Wow. Okay.
I'm teeing off tomorrow in a scratch medal, and the windows of the pro shop
are on the right,
just off the right too. It's a par 3 start.
Oh no!
Can't really chip a driver.
There's a gallery.
Yeah, there's a gallery. Yeah.
Yeah.
Made it through to the final of the final group.
Yeah.
After weeks qualifying ages ago.
And you get to the course, coffee machine's broken.
I would never be as careless as to leave it to the course. I'd have some before I went. So I've got to turn up. I know it's going to be awful. I know it's going to be a disaster, and yet I'm still going to turn up, and I'm still going to keep going. I'm going to keep shanking it into the windows until I finally get one away.
Yeah. How many shots do you reckon you're taking to get off that tee box?
In 80 miles, a lot. So I don't know what it's going to be like. And anyway, before I was interrupted, we went from Preston to Sandy Way.
Yeah, we're back to Sandy Way now. The timeline is completely messed up.
To Sandy Way. No, just let me get through this, Kieran, for God's sake.
He's not in the mood for us to cut him up right now.
By the way, this is
Pete, do you want to play through?
this is an ongoing thing this trip. So we're doing all these kind of uploads, and obviously doing the daily vlogs and stuff. And we get everything ready in the morning, and I'm mentally preparing myself to go. I'm looking at the road stretching ahead of me. I'm visualizing the finish line. I put a pedal.
I'll put the soundtrack.
I put my foot on the pedal. I'm about to set off, and then all of a sudden, just Kieran steps in front of the bike. It's like, "Oh, Pete, just one more thing. I'm going to need you for another 20 minutes here."
Can you do two voiceovers? Yeah. Can you do this story for Instagram?
Can you just check this? I was like, what? Wait, what? So anyway, that was where that came from. After Sandy Way, we went down to Shrewsbury.
Lovely, by the way.
Yep. Which was lovely. And that really, again, I think this is one of the things about this trip. I kind of really, I don't know, just put me down for a few days. Because I was really looking forward to spending a nice calm day in Shrewsbury. Then we obviously had video issues and all the rest of it. Kind of sent me into a wee bit of a spiral. And then from Shrewsbury, it was down to Berghill Valley.
Lovely again.
And which was, again, just a horrendous rainy day. And I got to Berghill Valley pretty emotional. And then we played in front of a massive crowd, actually did some decent golf things.
You hit some actual forward.
Some actual golf shots.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
And that video will be out?
It's out now.
Yeah, it's out.
Yeah.
That putter was very, very good.
El Fuego. It's the only round so far this trip where I don't feel I've embarrassed myself.
I'm not having that.
Maybe Brora played all right, but every other round so far it's been so bad that I've wanted to crawl inside my soul and hide there.
Wow, Jesus, dark.
But I've not been allowed to because it has been so dark. It's just like a loop of doom. But actually, Berghill Valley, I was all right.
Yeah, very
good. It wasn't actually too bad.
Yeah. You played really well.
And it's actually sparked a little bit of decent golf. So hopefully by the time we get down to Mullion, where was I? Berghill Valley. For Berghill Valley, we went down to
Gloucester.
Yep. Very weird place.
Very odd.
From Gloucester, we came down to the Bristol, which is near Bristol. And then from the Bristol, we have come down this morning to Taunton, where we find ourselves in this Premier Inn. So we have only 3 days to go. Tomorrow we're going from Taunton to Launceston.
Yeah, it's the one. It's the only one on the trip that no one knows how to pronounce.
Still no idea.
Not a clue of how to pronounce it. If you're from this place,
Launceston.
comment the phonetic thing underneath so we can work it out.
It's east. It's west anyway. We're going that way. We're actually staying at a golf club, I think. There's like a hotel attached to a golf club we're staying at. So we're going to be going down there, but yeah, I think you guys are going to be getting there earlier than me, and Jacob and David are coming down to join us there as well.
I love Jacob and David.
So you guys are going to be nicely tucked up in the bar, having a nice cool beverage, while I am potentially just leaning on my handlebars and praying that the last bit is downhill so it can just carry me in.
Yeah, we'll come and meet you. We're not gonna go straight there.
Yeah, we'll do the halfway thing.
We're gonna yeah, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll select where we're gonna go for halfway, because Kieran, during the last 7 days, has made some questionable choices about where we should meet Pete on the route.
We've been to some interesting places. In all fairness, the first place that Kieran picked to stop at was called the Lunchbox.
What's called the Lunchbox?
Between Preston and Sandyway.
And the food was pretty cheap, and it filled me up. It had a slight issue of having no roof, no toilet,
and no seats.
Coffee, very questionable. Second place. What was the second place we went to?
It was shut.
What?
Did you pick somewhere that was closed?
Oh yeah, no, that was before.
That was just before.
Dan's Cafe.
Dan's Cafe was actually quite nice.
Dan's
Decent
Cafe was
coffee,
very good.
Nice panini, no toilets.
He was lovely though.
He was lovely. Wonderful guy.
Yeah, shout out Dan.
And then everything's just molding.
Yeah, it is.
This is why I want to progress down. Bring the listeners as we progress. So as we went from.
Okay, so let's go Preston meetup.
Yeah. So yeah.
Good. Enjoyed that.
No. So I was going to go from Sandyway.
We've just gone in reverse.
Oh, we skipped all the way to Sandyway.
Yeah,
okay.
Because we've done Preston.
Yeah.
Now we're into Sandyway.
Okay, talk to me.
How was your Sandyway?
Oh God, I'm so confused.
How was your Sandyway match? How did you find Matt Nixon?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, Matt's obviously a really, really good player. He played on European Tour, as it was then, and Challenge Tour, and he's just a very, very consistent, very good golfer. He's now going through his PGA at Sandyway, and yeah, he played great. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen him not play great. Yeah, which is a bit annoying.
Have you known him for a while then?
Yeah, when I first met him 8 years ago, when I did a bit of filming with Galvin Green at Valderrama, I think it was.
Right.
And he's not just his swing and his kind of game hasn't really changed. He's just a really, really good golfer.
Is he from Manchester?
Yeah, yeah, kind of. He grew up playing his kind of junior golf with Tommy Fleetwood and that kind of set. So.
Oh right! Wow. God. Wow.
Yeah, so he's in good, company.
It was just wow.
Fair play.
Yeah, I grew up playing five-a-side with Ronaldo.
What? On the favelas.
Yeah. I did a little painting course with Van Gogh.
Very good. Very good. I mean, I must say, he was very straight. In terms of a zoom cam, it was just hit the shot straight down the middle. I didn't even need to look. If I missed the ball in the flight, I'll just zoom straight and it'd be somewhere in the middle.
I'll just go off where he said he was going to aim, because that's probably where it's going to go.
Exactly right. Yeah. No, he was great. Really, really good. And it'd be, I think I was saying this to you, an interesting kind of person to get on the podcast, because to hearing sort of that side of tour life and sort of understanding the behind the scenes of it may be something that we can do in the future. But,
and was quite successful as well. He didn't just get on and then was straight out again. He played really well in some events, won some pretty substantial purses and stuff. So
and was great on camera as well.
He was very good. He was a little nervous, I think, but I think he was extremely good on camera.
I think he was great on camera. Yeah. I thought it was great.
The edit was fun as well, because he was hilarious.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah.
It's easy to be nervous when you're playing with such an established golfer like myself. It's understandable.
Yeah, no. Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
The fear factor must have been real until I skied it off the first.
I tell you what it was. It was the fact that you waddled to the first tee because you were in so much pain.
Yeah.
That wasn't great.
Probably didn't help.
It wasn't great.
He struck fear into him.
I definitely gave him a few holes head start. That match.
Which he took advantage of.
He did. No, absolutely no mercy at all.
Yeah, he was. You know what struck me about him was at the end he was like, "Sorry, it was a bit boring." We're like, mate, if that's boring, I'd love to be that boring.
Exactly. What, he shot like 2 under par and had like, I think he had 1 bogey, but then like 2 birdies or something like that, 3 birdies. Like,
yeah, he was absurd.
He smashed it. And then from there, we stayed in the Premier Inn in Sandyway, and then the morning after we went to Shrewsbury. Did we stop off anywhere in between there? I don't think we. That was Dan's Calf. That was Dan.
Yeah, tried to stop off in Ludlow, but then didn't go the right way.
No, that's before.
That's before.
Yeah,
that's
before.
post.
Yeah, that's Shrewsbury to Gloucester.
That's the next day.
Yeah,
Shrewsbury to Gloucester is Ludlow.
Yeah,
because we went to a very nice cafe.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
a really expensive one.
Like Sandyway to Shrewsbury. You were talking about Sandyway to Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So,
yeah. There was a cycle day in the middle, wasn't there?
Yeah, and it was. See, this thing just gets so confused now.
What we need is like a physical calendar.
Yeah, we do.
Write like, and this is where things have happened.
We've already got all this down, and to be honest, like Sandyway to Shrewsbury, it's let's just call it an uneventful ride.
An uneventful ride.
Because I was following like Canal Pass most of the way. So
very true.
That's correct.
But a lovely, lovely town.
Yeah, great. And I wish I could have spent a little bit more time there.
They didn't have any Wi-Fi. That was Shrewsbury's only problem.
Yeah, Wi-Fi.
No quick Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Wi-Fi was an issue. Yeah. And then we went from Shrewsbury to Gloucester. So Gloucester, and that's with the Ludlow.
See, this is the thing that we didn't. We went from Shrewsbury to Burgo Valley.
Yeah, we did. Did we?
Correct.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
He's right.
Yeah. Wow, literally the days are. Wow, that's crazy.
This is why I don't know why we hit reverse and went back. Like we got through all this, we laid it out absolutely perfectly.
Because
do you know what would be quite a fun exercise is to get everyone who's been on the trip to write out what they think happened in order, and see who can get it the most accurate.
Yeah. It was just to let the viewers know what behind the scenes was going on. You know what I mean? Like not go through it too quickly.
So far, they're actually thinking of this map and they're like, "Well, this doesn't make any sense."
Yeah. Why did they go back up the country again?
You just really confused them all. They knew the exact route. They knew what was going on.
Yeah.
So
very good.
Burkill Valley, excellent. Loved it. Loads of people came out. Loads of great club donations. It was Ramo on that course. Like the first, I think there was a brief stint of rain that kind of, or it started spitting a little bit, and some people kind of like, that was Peter Finch. He's through 9 holes or whatever now.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think everyone kind of stayed pretty much. The only problem with the worst thing about that day was getting there because it smashed it down.
Right, yeah, you were very wet.
I'm stinking of poo because I went through loads of country lanes.
Yeah, I forgot
Again, GPS just absolutely kiboshed me. As soon as I left Shrewsbury, it took me on a woodland path, which hasn't been used for decades. So I had to smash my way through using my bike, like twirling it around my head like a baton, smashing away the weeds. Got completely scratched up. As soon as I stepped foot on the road again, it started smashing it down. Just as I started to go through the country lanes that was covered in cow. So then
wait, hold on. I know what this is. This is the one where we met him in that random place, like by the side of the road, and the postman came, and Pete was like, he was not in a good way, and we just fed him ginger biscuits, and then just like put him back on the bike, and then cars were going past as Pete was like about to pull out, and he goes, a bus went past, and he goes, "Oh, I could have ended it."
and then four others went past, and I definitely could have ended it there.
Just finished me off.
Yeah.
So by the time I got to Burgo Valley, I was not in an emotionally good state.
Yeah.
No.
But do you think the crowd, the fact that there was a crowd there, and the fact that you hit the fairway on the first, like, made up for it a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I fatted it off the
Yeah,
first.
it doesn't matter.
It
doesn't matter.
It was only like a 300-yard hole, and I managed to fat a 5 in so I could like chip something in, which was great. But then my putting came alive, so that was absolutely fine.
You putted like an absolute wizard.
It was great. I mean, the actual crowd there was amazing. It's definitely something that we'd noticed. Like the further south we've come, obviously the crowds have grown. I think it's just simply because of access. Like you can get to these places a lot easier.
Yeah, massively.
Yeah, access and like people have been following it now, so they're starting to. It was a concept until they saw videos of you cycling, and then he's actually going to be in places that that one's near me. I'll go and see him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's been cool. It was very cool. And it was nice to see Jacob again. He carried your bag.
Doing a terrible job.
Yeah,
Thanks,
You did a
Jacob.
bad job. Oh, Jacob.
there was no range. Where did we?
He didn't have a rangefinder.
Yeah,
He
it
didn't know
was-
any
no.
yardages. He
No,
knew
the-
nothing.
No, the shot scope was in the bag. We just couldn't locate it for whatever reason. I think it was more like just because I didn't hit the first few shots where I wanted to, so it was
Right.
like an easy scapegoat.
Right, got you.
So that round went really, really well. That video is very cool as well. Co-edit.
Yeah, co-edit. Yeah,
Love
yeah,
that.
Yeah,
Love that for the team.
And
And then
that's when we went to Gloucester.
we
after
went to
that.
Gloucester.
Yep.
How did you find Gloucester?
Weird.
Odd, huh?
Really weird. Because we were trying to find somewhere to watch the football, to like upload stuff and do all the things that we needed to. And I went to the Sword. Well, I went to the cathedral for half an hour. They rinsed me out of £5 for 20 minutes of wandering around. It was like 20 minutes.
Cool though, wasn't it? Like you
Yeah,
said,
it was cool. I would actually love to go back because it was a beautiful building. Because again, I'm just like, need to figure this out next time we do something like this, to actually spend a bit of time in the places that we visit, because we're just rushing through. I just don't get to see anything. And like Gloucester was a place that I really wanted to explore. Like, just it seemed really interesting.
Yeah, we could have. If it had been a month-long trip, you could have stuck in like a see the sights day every once in a while, and
Just
then you could
rest
have,
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't have been as fun.
I don't know about that.
You might be wrong there.
But yeah, we stayed.
Less pressure on the edits.
We stayed there. Tried to find the first place. First place went the Sword Inn. The Sword, whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, that was like a rum crowd in there. Shall
Yeah,
we say.
face tattoo central. You
A
said.
lot of face tattoos. Yeah,
Yeah.
Strong face tattoo
Yeah,
crowd.
a lot of people who look like
If-
Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Like if there was like, I have, to be fair, like I've absolutely no issue with people having face tattoos. You can have a tattoo wherever you want on your body. Doesn't reflect on you in my eyes at all. But when there's a huge concentration of people with face tattoos, they've had a few to drink, and the atmosphere in the pub was very, you're not local.
And you're wearing lycra.
I had changed by this point.
we know.
I'd just stroll around the city centres with my lycras on.
You got chain. You had like a chain tattoo on the back of your leg, so you were probably like
Yeah.
you were one of them.
One of the crowd.
Yeah.
And also the music in there was like very randomly loud, which I thought was unusual.
It's like, don't come in here.
Yeah, but it was a very odd place. Anyway, left there, went to, where's the place we went to? The Abbott's something? Abbott's who?
Yeah.
Anyway, watched a bit of football, had a bit of food. Food was good. And then, just stayed awake all night hearing the running battle going on outside my window.
I actually slept quite well that night.
Yeah, that's that well.
We were at the other side of the hotel.
It was just like, there's people outside my room just like screaming, but like you could hear them coming. Like you could hear them like coming from miles away. It's like, scream past.
That's going to be so good on the edit.
It was
so Ace Ventura, that.
and it was the same. You just hear them coming from so far away. You could just hear the shouts. It was like all the way past. It was, oh, God's sake.
That's so funny.
I'm going to say this now. That's one of the funniest things you've ever done.
Thanks, appreciate that.
That is one of the funniest things you've ever done.
And it's on camera.
It's on camera.
Yeah, it was like the Central Hotel or whatever that shopping centre was. What was the Wetherspoons called? The Vaults? I think it was the Wetherspoons nearby called the Vaults. The Gloucester Constabulary, if you are listening to this and you are on the lookout to get a few easy arrests
collars
for possession,
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh,
just hang
yeah.
around there. Wow, the amount of drugs that were being done. I was actually, I you know what, I was quite impressed.
Yeah, it's just blazing.
It was like, wow.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought it was like an official like drug taking zone.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is just
It's
incredible.
marked out with yellow lines.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, you can't go in there. You can't go in there. You're not doing any drugs.
Like, not just like the kind of stuff that could be made illegal. Like, it wasn't just the wacky backy that was going on. There was
God, you're so old.
there's some hardcore stuff going on, some opium going on around there.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, Gloucester was odd. But I would like to go back and visit and actually see what's going on there. So from Gloucester, we went down, no golf there. And then the next stop was the Bristol, where we played with Andy Carter, did a scramble. That video is going to be coming soon. And actually, coming tomorrow, and played some just really, really good golf, actually.
Yeah.
We just looked at each
Well,
other.
yeah, when you said that video's coming tomorrow, we both went, oh, damn it.
Well, you just got to use your time wisely. How much of that video you edited today?
I edited 0 of it.
Well, there's the issue.
I've colour graded the big cam. That's all I've done.
I archived my footage, labelled everything, put everything in the right folders, and then had to come and pick you up halfway.
Yeah.
Well, there's the issue. So there's no point looking at each other. You just got to be quicker. Just got to be
that's
quicker.
true.
As I was firing down the roads at 18 miles an hour.
18 miles. Wow.
So
fast.
and so from Gloucester, you went to Bristol.
We were Bristol, and now
God, I'm crying.
you played well, both of you.
Mm-hmm.
The sound of your driver will forever be etched in my memory, and will also be immortalized in video on the internet, which is exceptional. Do you want to tell people what you selected out the back of the van for that round?
Yeah, off the back of the van. Yeah. I had a Nike SQ, the Sasquatch, the Bigfoot, which was just really, really loud. Really loud.
And high.
And very high.
Yeah.
Well, it'd been in Gloucester, so it'd probably been inhaling the fumes. But when we got there...
Listen, if you're from Gloucester,
Yeah,
write in the
yeah.
comments. Right, defend your town.
This is the thing. Is it city?
City.
Yeah. This is the thing. I actually really. that's why I want to go back and I quite like the look of it. Not the
Crackheads.
not the massive drug taking, but the actual like down the because I rode past the docks as well.
Oh, you rode the nice way.
And the docks was actually really nice. And then the morning after it was actually really nice. I rode most of the way to Bristol, like by the river, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And then
You're favouring the canal pass, aren't you, a little bit?
it's not me. It's just Google Maps. Like Google Maps is this water thing going.
It loves it.
Yeah, which honestly isn't the worst thing because normally the what's the word?
A-roads?
The surface isn't quite as good,
Right.
or as consistent, shall we say? But because it's by a river / canals, it's usually quite flat. So that's the trade-off.
Correct, yeah.
Um,
Less cars whizzing past you at
Yes,
40 as well,
exactly,
which is,
like-
I think, your main concern at
there's
this
only so
point.
much damage a barge can do if it
Yeah.
whistles past you.
Yeah.
But well, we'll talk about the damage it can do on the lake today.
Yeah.
But the
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch was loud, and I don't think it'll make a reappearance. It was going quite straight-ish, but I'm not quite found. I've had a lot of drivers donated. I'm just not quite found one that really suits me.
You like... No, the Cobra was too high.
Every driver I've had, I mean, listen, the amount of people who are going to use a low degreed X stiff tips driver.
If you've got something to donate, at Mullion, then please could you donate a 6.5 degree extra stiff with a thick grip on it
Yeah. Tip shaft if possible, but
Yeah.
I'm not picky.
for the flex profile.
Yeah, if we can get a low torque, like if we get a thick grip on there as well.
Could you get something from the last 3 years as well?
Yeah, that'd be ideal.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. So yeah, not quite found a driver that really fits.
Carbon.
too
I'd
well.
like some carbon.
I love a bit of carbon. Love a bit of wrap. Love a bit of carbon wrap on there.
Yeah.
So apart from that, like the bag, the only thing I might try those. I really want to try those. We've got a set of ping blades in i3s, which I used to have back in the day.
They look cool, those.
Yeah, really cool. So
And they got stiff shafts.
stiff shafts. Yeah. So I might stick those in for my final opponent because I'm playing someone very, very good on the last day. So the bag is pretty much complete. I think I've got some really good clubs in there. Putter's great. So
Putter's going very, very well. Thank you, Matt Fryer.
yeah, Matt Fryer.
Matty Fryer. He did a good job. Yeah. So out of the clubs in the bag, which is the one that's kind of the most surprising? Because the putter, it doesn't surprise me that putter's good.
It's a good putter in it.
Like it just makes sense. It's a little bit newer. The grip's are very comfortable for you. It's the right length. You know, you're used to that kind of jobby.
Yeah, I suppose. But
Which one are you most surprised by? Is what I want to know.
Well, and I can't say the putter, even though it is a surprise.
Yeah, it is a surprise. But,
Yeah.
but is that just because you've just been putting very well?
Yeah. Is that not a surprise? It's a surprise to me.
Okay.
It's a really small head, and I keep hitting out in the middle. It's a big surprise.
But you've been on the old 2-ball for the whole last.
This thing is so uncomfortable.
This is the worst.
If
I've
I-
sat on some chaise longues in my time, and this is the worst one.
If anybody in the Premier is watching, this is a spare bed, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, and
yeah.
yeah.
This is just designed as a spare bed. It's the itchiest, most uncomfortable thing.
It's because it's quite hot in here as well. We're sweating.
Boiling.
I've lost what I'm saying.
The putter.
The putter. Yeah, I think the putter. That's been the most surprising just because I've putted really well with it.
Yeah. They're like with surprising level of confidence as well.
Just too tired to think about it anymore. I found the secret of golf. Like, just knack yourself out to the extent that you just can't physically muster up the energy to care, and it becomes a lot easier. Honestly, the last 2 rounds.
Good Lord.
Just let it go. The last 2 rounds has been incredible for the amount of people who've come to watch.
Yeah.
And also, like, internally, very surprising for the lack of nerves I felt.
I thought it would be the other way round.
I can honestly say that I felt 0 nerves at the Bristol.
Yeah, evidently, because you played very, very well.
Well, bear in mind that you have hit a shot in front of 15,000 people at the loudest golf hole in the world.
And only been beaten by like a 15-time Olympian.
It doesn't... The best analogy I can use for it is, like, if you go climbing, once you get above a certain height, it doesn't matter. Like, once you get 20 meters up, if you fall off, you're going to die. So the difference between 20 meters and 200 meters up, if you're free solo and whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So
it's the end.
Yeah. So once you actually get past a certain point of people you're playing in front of, it doesn't matter. Like, the number can exponentially rise.
Yeah. So, but also, like, I imagine,
as long as they're quiet. Obviously.
Yeah. I imagine, like, the tiredness must also bring on a little bit of, like, you don't have the ability to overthink everything because you don't have the brain power left.
Yeah. No, I've reached the stage of, like, that thing of not really caring, having a slight amount of hysteria.
You're like, I'm so good at this.
No, just like
I'm a cycling legend.
Just losing, like, the plot on what's actually happening.
Yeah.
Like, just losing the thread on reality. So it's just, it doesn't really matter anymore.
Although we did have a guy when we were packing up this morning come up and say, oh, he was at the Bristol.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, could I get a photo with you? You're a famous cyclist now.
Which is good. By the way, I just want to give a massive shout out to the road cycling community. Very friendly people.
Okay.
There's not a single cyclist I've not been past and we haven't waved to each other. It's been great.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just these different communities though on the road. Like, I mean, I remember when I used to be a van driver at Morrison's. You know, there'll be a rival Tesco's or there might be a rival Sainsbury's, and just a little wave in the morning.
You wouldn't crash into them.
That wasn't the hand signal they were giving you, Kieran.
It was a little more pointed.
They're waving it with the back of the hand and only 2 fingers. That's an interesting wave.
Yeah. No,
not from Waitrose though. They would never ever.
No,
do that.
No, Ocado. They're way too good for you.
Yeah, I'm about to say the Ocado probably was the only one that didn't.
Yeah.
Because
they're animals.
They're actually, you know, they haven't really got a store. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ooh, sorry.
Yeah.
We got a store.
But they're just like they're the homeless delivery men and women.
Yeah.
I have been running almost my entire life, and that same kind of thing happens in the running world, where you run past someone and you can tell that you're both struggling a little bit. You run towards each other, you just give each other like a little, you're struggling, I'm struggling.
Yeah. It's always nice to say hi.
That's good.
I didn't know where that was going. I've been running all my life.
I'm the Forrest Gump of the YouTube game. Yes, so you played very well at Bristol. The driver was an odd choice, but I know why you made it. Like, Carter was saying that he actually wants to. I believe he said, "Don't put that one up for auction at the end. I'll buy it off you."
Yeah, he said he'd put 50 quid in the Just Giving page, which is nice.
Is there a checking that sells for more than 50? It's got to, hasn't it?
I think so.
How much did Carter pay for it? You've touched it now as well, so it's like.
Just don't sell it. Don't
it's like twice as much.
Don't sell it with the head cover, though.
Oh my god, that head was a disgrace.
Oh yeah. Are your hands still stained?
If anybody has out there a Nike SQ driver circa 2017, 16, whenever it was released, if you've still got the head cover, burn it. Burn it with napalm and get rid of it, because it is rotten. Like, it was actually disintegrating as we played.
It didn't help that we left your clubs out in the rain for the 40 minutes before you went and teed off.
I don't think that was the catalyst. I think it was.
Right, okay.
I think it's been more of a slow.
Yeah, it was bad for a while.
I think the gradual decay and the laws of thermodynamics have worked their magic on it to the point where it is now just turning into dust.
Maybe that was why it's donated.
Yeah, honestly, it looked like I've been handling coal. Like by the end of it was horrendous. Like, and it won't come out either. Look,
Your bloody
if you're
whip
watching
strap's
it, the whip
still
strap,
stained.
look at it, it's still ingrained in there.
Yeah. Forever on your person.
Absolute disgrace. So yeah, I don't think I'll be using that again. I might use one of the tightest drives that we've got there.
Yeah, there's like a 915D, 9.5 stiff flex.
Yeah. Some funky drives.
I reckon you could tonk that one.
There's a G20 in there. I saw the.
I've still not used that. The F-Speed, the Cobra one, which I really want to use, which is really loud.
Because that's right.
It's just right at the bottom. That's why.
Right
and we
at the
can't be
bottom.
bothered to get out.
If you don't know Kieran, by the way, Kieran is maybe one of the least lazy people I know. He's always kind of up there and energetic, but even he had a real attack of can I be arsed?
No.
Yeah.
When I was like, Kieran, can you get me the F-Speed drive? He's
but also
it's right near
because
the bottom.
but also because that I've
So your Kieran impression is really good. Yeah, it's accurate.
no, but I've
Can I stop you for a second? Can you just do these 3 things while I get that driver out for you?
no, but the clubs are kind of like not exactly wedged in, but you've got like the van wall here, and then you've got the bike, and in between
The spare bike.
Yeah, the spare bike. Yeah. And then in between is all these clubs. And what I did at Windermere is I gave it a bit of a clean, and I've like woven all of this rope all around the bike so that it doesn't.
Woven.
Is that the right word?
In this context, no.
Right. How would you describe it?
Woven. Well, woven, weaved.
Weaved, yeah.
I'll take.
It's like weaved.
Yeah,
surely?
I actually don't think it's that bad.
No. Woven and weaved, as far as like a word, it would work if there was any kind of order to the weaving.
To the
Right,
weaving.
yeah.
No, the weaving.
This isn't weaving. I remember a study that some scientists did. You see the pictures if you Google them. They actually gave spiders different drugs.
Oh,
So they gave them
I
like
think
LSD.
I've seen this.
they
Yeah,
gave
I've seen it.
Yeah, all the rest of it. It's basically like you've given a big spider acid and said, connect that bike to that wall. And he's gone, okay.
Cool.
And what has come out of it is something that should be in the Tate Modern.
Sent the spider via Gloucester.
That's what it picked it up for. And it was absolutely wild. But anyway, so the clubs are kind of trapped there now.
Yeah, they're wet-
She
they're
loves
wedged
layer. So
Very good.
I'll be honest, I didn't think you wanted it either, so I kind of didn't think that it'd be at the bottom. And that was David's old driver.
it was, yeah. I used to have the 3-wood.
Right.
Well, the X version of the 3-wood back in the day, and I used to use it off the tee all the time. I was just hammering Stenson all the time.
I'm pretty sure it's a regular flex.
I can slow my swing down. I ain't swinging at
We
my
know.
top speeds
Yeah. We've seen
this
it.
trip.
Although, back end of that Bristol, there was a couple of whiplashes, boy.
Yeah, it's just because I was furious.
Yeah, that was
I
There was a
furi-
couple of
I was furious at
real
some of my
recoils.
decisions, yeah.
after that par 3.
I had a few bad decisions and I regretted it. So yeah,
Par 3 was
I
very
think
interesting.
something that was quite nice that has been more apparent in the Bristol and Berg Valley trip is that a lot of people have come up to us and sort of said like how much they appreciate our work as well. So it's been very nice.
been
I
very
just
nice.
wanted to get that out there as well and just say
Yep.
thank you very much for coming up.
In
and-
fact, who was the lovely gentleman who we had a beer with afterwards who had the like Nike glasses on with the blue shirt?
Wilson.
No, not Wilson. Who? Legend.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Who was the like kind of the older guy with the dark hair?
where are we talking here? Sorry,
It's in Bristol.
At the Bristol.
at the
Oh.
Bristol. I'm not sure I caught his name. He called me straight after the round and said, "Do you want a beer?"
And you
I
were
was
like,
yeah.
of course I do.
So I try and keep a note of everyone I meet. I try and get their name. I'm not great with names, but I try and kind of get their names as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
But I just come off the course, obviously just coming after the ride.
Mm.
He offered me a beer, so he was like, beer man.
Beer man.
He's beer man.
His name's Beer Man.
He's
Anyway,
beer man.
Beer Man, when we were I was on the 18th catching the balls landing on the green, and he goes, "Oh, who do you work for?" And I said, "Oh, I work for Peter Finch. Like I film the videos, edit some of them." He was like, "Oh, and do you do the podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah, actually, I do." He goes, "Who are you then?"
Well, this thing.
I literally said to him, "I'm the one who normally sits on the right hand side."
Well, no, see, this is Guys, this is the thing we've got to remember. Like, whenever you say, like, if you're watching this, most people don't watch this. Most people listen to this.
Yeah, that's true. That's
You've got to start thinking
What I
this as an audio experience.
Right. So what I needed to say then was, I'm the kind of like over the top Cockney one who talks too much. You reckon he would have got that?
Yeah, but you're not Cockney anymore. We've already discovered this after you went super northern when we were having that beer.
I've spent
afterwards.
too much time with Northerners. I need to get back to my dad's roots. Start talking like this again.
Maybe we need to like describe our facial features.
Yeah, so let me think about what Kieran looks like. Have you ever seen ex-Man United footballer Dan James?
Yes. Yeah, that's a great analogy.
You look like that.
Yeah, it's a great analogy.
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
basically
If you've
it,
not
yeah.
seen Peter Finch, go to the main channel. He looks like that.
Yeah.
I can't really describe what I look like.
You look like. How would you describe?
Well, why are you turning to me?
I don't know.
You started this
I'm the
off.
bottom half of your head.
Yeah, but yeah.
The bottom half of my head.
I'm the bottom half of
I'm
Pete's
just
head.
trying to think of like a.
And my
Is-
top
is
half
that- is-
currently is Grant Horvath.
I'm trying to think like a
Is-
footballer.
Is that a way you just say you've got a beard?
Yeah.
You know, which I'm more than happy with beards worldwide being described as the bottom half of my head. But a beard would suffice.
Yeah, so I have a beard and Tommy Fleetwood hair.
Yeah, kind
You
of.
wish.
Yeah, you wish. Yeah,
You
yeah.
wish.
You'll
Okay,
go
We'll
into
get
that.
there. We'll get there.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
get there.
No, so
And
no.
what does Jacob look like? Jacob looks like what you imagine a like rural cricketer with glasses looks like.
Yeah, go with that.
Exactly it.
Yeah. But yeah, so no, thank you very much
Oh my God.
for all the nice
Yeah.
comments.
It's been
that
lovely
you've
to
all
meet
been
people who
saying.
said, yeah, they love the podcast, love the content. So,
Really, really appreciate it.
yeah, it was great. Oh my God, he's so tired. This
How much
this
are we on?
podcast is utter. Normally the chaos is like a little bit ordered.
Yeah.
We were so tired and so sick of today
Yeah.
that we didn't even work out what we were going to say
Yeah.
before we pressed record.
Yeah. Well, I thought I did a little bit of a job of kind of semi explaining the route, but not the route, but like the
You
what
guys
we're going to
got
be doing.
all day to figure this out as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't seen what you've been doing.
oh God, imagine if that was all we had to do today.
Yeah.
All you've done is like upload a video and then have a drive about a bit.
Well, actually, we uploaded it twice,
Yeah.
and then we drove an hour to come and find you.
Why'd you upload it twice?
Missed something. May have left a graphic off.
All right.
Small amount of graphic was left off,
Unbelievable.
so I just
Quite a
added
vital piece of graphic there.
the bit that explains the entire concept of the video.
Yeah.
Wasn't in the video.
It's quite a miss, really, wasn't it?
It wasn't there, so I had to add it.
Yeah, what? It wasn't there. You were editing it.
Yeah, so I didn't put it in.
You see, you made that sound like you got it. It's like, oh, God, it wasn't there.
Me and Kieran are doing an ongoing tally of how many times we have to apologise to each other for something that you knew for sure and found out was wrong. Like Kieran sent me the drone footage for Bristol. No, for Berg Hill Valley. He sent me the drone footage so that I could add it into the holes that I had edited. And I said, could you just send me the back 9 because that's what I need the drone footage for. He sends me all the drone footage. So I look down it and I go, this is the front 9, you giant idiot. You've sent me the wrong ones. He goes, scroll down a little bit. Scroll down. There they are, back 9. So then I had to apologise.
And then you thought I missed a hole.
Yeah, then I thought you missed a hole, but you'd tacked it onto the back of another one. Ongoing tally. I would like to make an announcement. I left off a graphic on the Berg Hill Valley video. However, you realised the mistake
Yeah, it was.
in the car park.
Yeah, only just by pure.
Do you know what it was, actually? I heard you watching it, and I immediately remembered that I hadn't done that bit.
Yeah.
So we found a coffee shop. I added it really quickly, and then we went to a pub with good Wi-Fi and waited for Pete while we uploaded it.
Yeah.
And it went up. And it's out.
Yeah.
On time.
So you said, yeah, plenty of time.
God. Stressful.
Stressful indeed. Yeah.
What I don't want to do is make your day any more stressful than it already is, right? So I felt terrible that I'd left it off, and I like rushed to find somewhere with Wi-Fi. You said the Wi-Fi in coffee one is normally good.
Yeah.
It was quite good, but I like while it was uploading, I was like, "There's got to be." So I took the other laptop, walked around the area to find quicker Wi-Fi, found that pub, got it up.
Okay.
It was a nightmare. Please, tomorrow, can we just have a carefree day?
Well, it just means that tomorrow we have to get up earlier tomorrow and start the video.
I'm after this, I've got to finish that
Marco Simeone.
Marco video.
That.
I've got
Yeah.
to do the Marco video, and then
And we need to eat.
I actually don't think I have time to eat tonight.
Can we eat today?
Baby.
Are we allowed any
Maybe.
food? Please, Peter. May we be fed?
You've eaten every day. Do you need to eat every day?
Yeah.
Do you need to eat every day?
Do you know what I'd like today? A vegetable.
Jeez.
I'd like a vegetable as well.
When was the last time you had a
I
vegetable?
was speaking. Well, I can't remember.
I would like to point out that isn't me. That's their choice. Like
Yeah.
they are deciding what they eat. Like,
No,
I'm not withholding vegetables.
No, it's
from
like,
them.
put that lettuce down, boy.
when, I
No
saw,
greens for you.
when I saw Mum, like, that was the first thing he said to me. "Oh, look at your skin. When was the last time
When
you
was
had
the
a
last time you had a
vegetable?"
vegetable? Yeah.
I was like 3 days ago. I was
Yeah.
like, I had a chip.
Potatoes.
I'm not sure that
I had a
counts.
chip.
What did you have for lunch today? I had 14 biscuits,
Yes, you did. You did. And then had a sugar rush.
and then fell asleep in the van because my insulin crashed. It was bad.
Wow. You fell asleep in the van. Was Kieran driving?
No, I was driving. Oh no, yeah.
Good job you weren't driving.
Although I've got tomorrow
Yeah.
the nightmare day.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, you have. Yeah.
I hate driving that van as well.
Yeah, you do. You do.
It's an automatic. I keep trying to put my left foot down.
Oh, my God.
This might be a good opportunity. Insert the GoPro footage.
Oh, no, I don't want to. I really don't want to. I mean, actually, as an audio, that might be great. Literally
It's
slams
me
it
driving
on.
the first van.
Everything
The first
goes
time
through.
driving the van, and Kieran goes, right, you even said this to me, put your left foot, I know it's your dad. He goes, put your left foot on the ground, don't even think about it. Just use your right foot, because it's an automatic, you don't need to change gear. Come up to the first junction in Preston, just trying to get out of town, and I slam my left foot on.
And everything.
Everything flies off, we both fly forward.
I think I say, are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious right now?
And then Kieran's heart rate, if he went on his whoop at the end of the day, his heart rate like spikes for the next half an hour.
Yeah.
That's nice to know.
Yeah.
Not this first time I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, luckily it's okay.
Everything was fine.
Everything was fine.
Great.
Yeah. Nothing was
Awesome.
damaged.
Mhm.
Kieran survived. I survived. Equipment survived.
Van survived.
Yeah.
Van survived.
Wow. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Great news.
So I think we should probably call it because we're coming up to an hour and we have a lot of flaming work to do.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. Yeah.
What have you got to do, Pete? You've got a bath.
Actually, yeah, you can use that bath salt.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Well, first of all, I am gonna actually catch up what's happening in golf because Victor Hovland won, and we don't know anything about it. So
Oh,
that's
yeah,
a start.
that's true.
Yes. Well done, golfers.
Shot a 28 on the back nine and beat
Yeah. Course record 61.
Fitzpatrick, Scheffler,
Yeah.
Rory, all that kind of jazz.
Yeah, we've missed.
Some Ryder Cup teams
Yeah,
confirmed.
we have. Yeah.
So we're going to be catching up with that. And then
we promise at some point we will get back to talking about the world of actual golf that
Yeah.
isn't Pete struggling on a bike and us struggling to edit.
Yeah.
There will
Maybe.
eventually be some golf talk.
We'll see. I mean, if we end this trip, if we do manage to get through, it's not a guarantee. I mean, I came off the bike today, so
Oh, yeah, you need to tell us about that. Yeah.
What happened?
that's the best way to describe it.
Is it your first actual crash?
I've come off, I think, 3 times now, but the first 2 were quite sedate. The first one I slipped on a rock and hit my hip on a rock, but that was fine, just a bruise. But this one was a bit more. So if you've been going down, best way to describe it, the paths by some of the rivers, by some of the canals. If you imagine a grass bank, and people have been walking and cycling along the same part of that grass bank for years and years and years, so it's more like a little valley. Which is worn down. Yeah, like a foot wide, maybe half a foot deep. So if you're going along that at any kind of speed and you hit one of the walls, it kind of sends you steering a bit funky. So I was just going down there too fast and just like hit one of the walls, and then knew the bike was going down, so I basically bailed out. I was going pretty fast, so I hit the ground, just went over, kind of smacked my shoulder, and then ended up in a bush basically. I two-footed a bush.
You do have to be very careful, because I know the paths that you've been on have been a little safer than if you'd been on A roads. Like if you have a crash on A roads, you're a goner. But you do have to be careful.
It depends what you crash into.
Yeah.
I mean, the bush I
But if you hit
crashed
the
into
curb
was
and you
pretty
go into the-
spiky, but
Was it a blackberry bush?
Did you pick any?
It's just like you to think of food, isn't it? It's like an
No,
automatic.
it's just like him to think of what might be there. Such a country boy.
Well,
It's
actually-
like an automatic reflex. Do you remember when I was telling that story about how he almost like crashed into that dead deer being forced off the road by that van in Scotland?
Yes, I do remember that.
That's the first thing Kieran said. Oh, I like venison.
When did I say that? When did I say that?
That's the first thing he said. He said, oh, I like venison burgers.
Right. Well, no.
So
I think
it wasn't a blackberry
I
bush.
think well, first of all, I said, "Are you okay?" And second of all, I said, "Was the GoPro recording?"
Really annoyingly, we'll have to check it, but it wasn't. I know it wasn't recording when I went in, but when I was in this bush, because I was literally like hip deep in it, I did press record, but I think the battery was out. I'm pretty sure, because when I went to check it afterwards, it wasn't recording. So the battery died after I pressed it, or it had died anyway.
It died ages ago.
But
Yeah.
I got like a thing on my little video on my phone on the impression that I made in there. So
Do you know what I think is funny is that not like you're so aware of the fact that you're not only doing this nuts job, like cycling all the way down and playing golf, but you're also, I've just had a crash, and your first thought is, I should have got it on video.
of course,
I'm glad I survived, but like,
of course,
was it in 4K?
Yeah.
Did I get it in 60?
I want to get a bit of slow mo. Absolutely. It's a bit that path I was on was a bit rogue as well. So I don't know what it was a canal. I don't know what it was.
I think it was
the Avon Canal or something.
it was the.
And we drove over it.
Taunton, Bridgewater to Taunton Canal.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have guessed that.
It's a very specific name.
No, but that's
you know
what it's called.
I could have guessed that because today we went from
Bridgewater
to Taunton.
No, but that's what it was called. That, wasn't it?
It did have a big sign.
It did say
have
that. But yeah, went all the way down a bit. It would have been used as a defensive line if England was invaded during World War II, because every 100 metres or so there was a pillbox all the way along the canal.
What's a pillbox?
You see them every now and again. It's like a short one-story squat structure with like holes in it where they could stick machine guns out of. You'll know one if you saw it.
Really?
We'll show you one on Google after this.
That's sick.
Yeah, it was all the way down the canal.
You said sick, not me.
That's very cool. That is very cool.
Well, listen, like you just get to see these things when you are cycling. You do get to see some cool things. I've really wanted to turn into Glastonbury, go to Glastonbury tour, but it was just a bit.
That's a
bit
too
far
much of a
away.
detour. That.
I wanted you to, when we looked at your route, I thought you were going to go past Western Supermare, which would have taken me way back.
What's Western Supermare to you?
It's the we went there a few times when we were very small, and it's the beach where you can get like very dodgy donkey ride,
Yeah.
and there's 2p push machines, arcade, and all that nonsense. Yeah,
It's basically your Blackpool, like Black.
yeah, it's
that's
like
where I went
it's
to
Blackpool for people from the south, innit?
Yeah, I don't know what the Bournemouth, what the Dorset equivalent would be.
Well, yeah, you go Bournemouth. Yeah.
In Bournemouth,
Bournemouth or Weymouth. Weymouth's a big
Weymouth.
one.
Yeah. I think every British town, every British region has something like
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
Yeah, what's the one?
It also be like Brighton, isn't it?
Canvey Island.
Where?
We just go very like down and right on the map from London.
Oh, right. What, like Brighton sort
No,
of
let's
way?
go Canvey Island.
Oh.
Yes, same job, smaller.
Right. Do you ever go to Southend?
Yeah, Southend-on-Sea. Love a bit of Southend-on-Sea.
Southend and Brighton, that's what
And we also went to Margate and Ramsgate.
Yeah, Ramsgate.
Did you ever go to Brighton though?
I've been to Brighton. Yeah.
I'm obsessed with Brighton. What's Brighton?
I don't know. But
Margate and Ramsgate, anecdotally, regularly voted worst place to live in England.
There you go.
one of my best friends, Ryan, is from there, and we always joke about him coming from the worst place in the UK.
Ramsgate Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah, he actually is Ramsgate Ryan. Now, so you've seen, we were talking about this on the way here. Like, we do feel like I've seen a lot of the country that we wouldn't have seen, albeit through the front of the van window. But we do, we have seen some weird back roads. We've tried to stay away from the motorways as much as possible because Pete's not going to be anywhere near the motorway, so it doesn't make sense for us to be. I have seen a lot of the country. We've seen some lovely wildlife. Oh my God, we're going to tell them what happened to that squirrel.
Squirrel!
What did you do to the squirrel?
I think, was it after or before we picked...
Straight after.
Before we stopped... Was it when...
Straight after. We went past Pete and your mum.
Yeah.
Squirrel weaving in the road.
Oh, it was as well.
Dun-dun, dun-dun.
You killed a squirrel.
I was driving.
You're an accessory to the murder of a squirrel killer.
And he looked at me.
He aimed for it.
He looked at me and he was like...
Swerved towards it.
He looked at me and I've not seen Mick that sad, ever.
It was
And
heartbreaking.
He was very sad. I've never seen him like it. And we both looked at each other and we just sort of just was quiet.
It went very quiet.
Yeah, we were just quiet.
It went
for a
very,
while.
very quiet. As it was kind of weaving in front of us, I had a quick look in my mirror and there was a van like quite close to us behind. Because like I just slam on my brakes, the squirrel runs away and we're fine.
Yeah.
But then I thought, in an instant, I was like, that guy's too close. If I slam on my brakes, not only is all the equipment going to go flying in the back of the van, but also he's going to come into the back of us.
Yeah.
So the squirrel, unfortunately, paid the ultimate price.
sacrifice.
I went proper country before because there was a squirrel about a couple of minutes before that as well. When I was like,
Multiple squirrels.
those squirrels, you know, they're buggers. They are, you know, they run out, they don't know where they're going. So and then I was like, and then
3 minutes later.
3 minutes later, that
Proof.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm desensitized to it now.
Have you seen some good animals? What have you seen?
Dead animals, I mean.
Oh.
Over the last 17 days, I must have seen upwards of 100 dead animals easily.
Yeah. Easy money, particularly on those country
Crazy.
roads.
Yeah, it's just like all shapes and sizes. Nothing too random.
Could you identify any of them for us? What have you seen?
The biggest one's been a deer, obviously.
Yeah.
We saw 2 of them.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Live.
I think it was like a stoat or something like that, like a ferret. That was a bit of a weird one. Lots of squirrels, lots of hedgehogs.
Oh, that's so sad.
Badgers, everything.
Yeah, badgers, classic.
I've seen a lot of death this trip.
Good lord.
I've stared into the abyss.
Yeah. Lauren's dad. Lauren's dad is also called Peter, and growing up, he invented a driving game which is called Dead Thing. If you see a dead thing, you shout "dead thing," you get a point.
Oh wow,
great game.
I've scored 100 points so far.
So you'd be deep in the game.
Do I get more points with the bigger animals?
Yeah, the bigger animals you would. I think he dictates how many points you get.
I've got to be honest. Scotland was like a killing field.
Was it?
There's a lot of dead big animals.
Yeah,
up
have
there.
you noticed, like, geographically, any changes in road animals?
It's definitely
cars,
decreased in size as you
down
go
the
further
country.
south. Yeah. But mostly because the big ticket items are in Scotland.
the
Still
city.
like
roaming free.
Loch Ness side of the road. Like,
Yeah. Well, there's a Loch Ness monster there.
Yeah.
Bit by truck. Just sort of slipping back into the water.
There's a hippogriff.
Now, you know what? And that's the thing. Like, if you want to see, if you wanted to see that hippogriff, mate, you had to move quick. They don't stick around for long. She was in the car. Car was in a bad way.
Oh, it's good.
Do you know what? That's even more funny. It's because Pete loves Harry Potter. Loves it.
Yeah, I think I would have probably told you if I'd have said that.
That's so funny.
I think that might have stopped. I would have been recording then. I definitely know that.
Yeah. Have the roads got worse on the way down the country?
Yeah.
I've set myself back into podcast mode. Have the roads got worse or better?
No, not really. The roads have all been pretty succinct. Like most of the country lanes I've been going on, I've been great, really.
Right.
I think it's greatly contributed to my arse being a bit more bruised than it should be.
You've not done yourself a great service with that seat. You know, you could have gone much comfier than that.
Yeah, no, I don't. To be honest, I don't. I don't know. I have no idea. To be honest, I've had so many suggestions of things I could have been doing differently.
Yeah, the AirTag would have been very helpful.
The AirTag,
Next time we're getting a
and-
flaming AirTag.
And the Vaseline. Is that like a good thing to be doing?
What, vassing up?
Yeah,
oh
vassing
yeah,
up. That's
vassing up. Yeah,
right.
that's a good thing. But yeah, I think I'm saying next time. If we ever do anything like this again, I've learnt my lessons. So yeah, we'll be good.
What will the next challenge be?
God knows.
What's your fancy?
America, west to east coast.
Can we just get through this one first alive?
God,
well,
he looks really damaged.
I've cried twice on this podcast.
It's really good.
I've
Love
cried
that.
twice. Oh, dear. How was I don't know, how was Mum on the cycling with her? Was it good?
Spoilers: Kieran's mum came on the route.
Yeah.
She did about 8 miles on the way into the Bristol.
Yeah, it was good. Like most of the way was pretty flat until like the last. So we had a nice chat all the way, and then right at the last minute, the road up to the Bristol was very steep.
Yeah.
I must admit, I kind of switched automatically into get up this hill mode.
Did you
left her?
Or left?
I dusted it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But not intentionally, because I went up there and I was just like going the pace that I have been going.
Right.
And then about 3/4 of the way up, I was like, I'm not on my own.
I forgot I'm part of a peloton right
I'm
now.
actually with someone here, so I like stopped, looked back, and I was like, "Oh God, she's not there."
Was it a long way back, or
not a long way back.
Right.
Not a long way back.
Kieran was very worried that you were going to drop her and that she'd be lost.
No. That was the only point where because I've not cycled with anyone all trip. It was weird because I've not really spoken to anybody when I've been cycling.
Yeah.
I think that has helped you out a little bit though, because you can kind of just get into a bit of a cave, can't you, and just like focus on moving forward and not have to use your social brain at all. You can just power through.
Yeah, I mean, my social brain's not great anyway, like in a normal situation.
Yeah.
So like, on a bike, when I'm trying to concentrate on two things at once, my conversational skills definitely take a dive.
Yeah, 100%.
More than usual.
The other thing that I just wanted to shout out was that we had lots of people from the Discord.
We did, yeah.
Who turned up to the Preston meetup, to Berg Hill, to Bristol. So if you are one of the people who came and said hi, can you remember names?
I remember James and Steve. Yeah.
We had Charlie Bird came down. We had Kit.
Yeah.
Lots of cool people came down, so it was very exciting to see people who like you've just made friends with on the internet, in the Discord, and then like there they are in real life.
There was a guy from Windermere as well, the tall guy, the gardener.
Is he still alive?
I didn't get the name.
Like at Windermere?
Yeah, at Windermere.
Yeah.
I didn't get the name of the chap. Was it Matt? Was
Matt,
it? Matt. Yeah, he was lovely, really nice guy.
There was Josh who held my camera.
Josh who held your camera.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah.
I didn't say please, but I said thank you.
Is that the guy? Is that the guy you threw the camera at?
Yeah, it just rained, and we were about to play the 9th at the Bristol, and I didn't really want to put the fancy camera on the floor on the wet ground, and I was trying to set up the phone for the tracer, and I just like hold this for a second, like just to someone who was watching. This guy who I eventually found out his name was Josh, and Pete goes, just like, forgot your manners, have you? I was like, oh yeah, you're right, I'm really sorry. I completely forgot to say please.
It was more like, it wasn't just that he said it in like in what I imagine the police would call like a command voice when they're trying to like get control over a situation.
I don't think I have any other voice, to be completely honest with you. That's just my voice.
Like, hold this.
Yeah.
It was like,
You don't really have a thing. I remember when we were playing Alex North, and he was, we're not really allowed to get in front of the tracers because we use After Effects, and it kind of messes it up a little bit. And he'd walk through a couple of them, and you sort of said, "Alex, stop walking in front of the tracer if that's all right, mate." Like no jokiness. Like, sorry, mate, just please remember, don't walk in front of the camera.
This is the other thing, right? Lauren says this to me all the time. She's like, if people don't know that you're like you have good intentions, they think that you're being rude. But in reality, like, would you rather it take 20 minutes for me to explain, like, to be really polite and lovely and explain to you that, Alex, like, when we do these things, it's like really massively helpful if you just like, here's a great idea for you. When you hit your shot, maybe go like to the left so you don't walk directly through the camera. Because although it looks great, and you played, and it's a wonderful shot. Would you rather that, or just be like, Alex, could you make sure that when you come off camera, you go left instead of right? Solved.
You can take that.
I mean, literally none of that would happen. None of that happened or would happen. It was probably just Alex, don't walk in front of the tracer. And all it could have been was Alex, by the way, when we do the traces, if you walk towards to the right, you'll just go off the tracer. If you hit a shot, just walk to the left. Awesome. Thank you. Like, you don't
That's
have to,
what
you,
I said.
You don't have to spend... You don't have to, like...
That's what I heard myself saying, but it came out in... It was translated into Mick.
Yeah, you don't have to, like, catastrophize it, so you'd have to spend 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, all we're asking for every now and again is... Just throw in a please.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
I apologise. Anyone who I'm concentrating on doing my job well, and I forget to
like
grovel at your feet.
Just toss it in there like a manners grenade, and you know what? It'll go off.
The manners grenade.
Yeah,
I like that analogy.
It'll hit the ground and it'll explode, and everyone will actually feel a bit happy about being hit with it.
Okay, I apologise.
Rather than your usual frag that you just throw in there.
Talking of walking in front of the tracer.
I need to do those traces.
Well, you do need to do some traces, but
Still not done those traces.
guess who walked in front of a tracer at his own home course?
That's
Jacob Flaming Ballbridge.
Strolled in front.
That was a big
Oh
one,
my God.
That was a big one.
What a fool.
Yeah.
And I can be mildly harsh to him because he should know better.
Yeah. Andy walked in front of one yesterday on the 5th.
And
You'll remember...
for people like that, for people like Andy and Jacob, who this is their job, you can,
Andy.
yeah, you can just look at them and just go.
I think he said, and he walked in front of a tracer yesterday. I was like, he wasn't there yesterday.
Oh, right. Yeah.
For people who should know better, you can literally just look at them and be like,
yeah. Well, Andy hit. It's one of the best shots I've ever seen him hit. It's one of the best shots I've ever seen him hit in the 2 years that I've known him. And yeah, he was nearly... I had to move to the right.
How was catch up with Andy Carter, by the way, Kieran?
Wonderful. I really enjoyed it. You know how much I enjoyed my time.
Kieran worships Andy Carter.
Yes, I like Andy Carter.
Loves him.
Yeah, I do like
he's
him.
a good egg. I love Andy. He's good.
Really nice guy, and just get on with him.
He's very good.
Like him.
Okay, so you have tracers to do.
I've got more than that, mate.
You've got tracers, 9 holes, and this podcast.
I mean, in all fairness, you have had these traces to do since like May, so...
When did you film this round of golf that you haven't done the traces for?
May.
In May.
But bearing in mind that I've had Prestwick to do, I've had Troon to do, I've had Alex North to do.
I'm still trying to figure out what you've done today. What have you done today?
We literally did barely anything today.
Yeah.
We got quite drunk, actually. No, we didn't. We drove all the way here.
If you're right, I've been doing this for 20 days straight, Peter. If I'm allowed a little, like half a day.
I'm starting to look at you with fresh eyes. I'm questioning, like, what have you done all this time?
Oh my goodness!
You're so lazy.
What's actually been going on?
What have I done? God, I've got bags under my eyes, literally. But we're working hard.
That's because you're not been eating any vegetables.
We need vegetables. Right,
Just
you have tracers.
Put the potatoes down.
You have tracers. You probably have some sort of like voiceover to do.
No.
He actually doesn't.
Kieran's going to wait until I'm about to set off tomorrow before dropping all that off.
He'll have both his feet off the ground, and you'll stop him and say,
I'll be halfway down the road. I just feel like a bungee cord pull me back. Oh, Pete! Before you set off on this 80-mile, I've got this A4 sheet of paper you need to work through.
God, yeah, checklist. Pete's going to go and have a nice salty Epsom bath or whatever.
No, I think we should get some food first.
You want to eat first?
I think so.
Should we get
7 o'clock?
I've never
get McDonald's? It's 8 o'clock. It's literally 8 o'clock. Should we?
It's 8:03.
Should we just get McDonald's?
No, there's no vegetables.
You can get
There's lettuce in a Big Mac.
You can get a grilled chicken wrap, grilled, so it's not fried.
I don't care about the friedness. I want like a carrot.
Yeah, the pub is literally next door.
All right, okay.
They have carrots.
Right. Well, I'm pretty sure it stops serving at 9, so we need to get.
We need to hurry up. Right.
Yeah,
okay. So we're going to stop this now. You are going to go to the main channel and watch Berg Hill and eventually the Bristol. And you are going to go and recover because tomorrow you have the biggest cycling day of your life.
Okay.
Okay.
That's cool. So podcast edit.
I love that we're doing this on camera.
Marco Simone.
Podcast at 9 holes.
I'm gonna start
Shot traces.
Yes. Correct.
Shot tracers.
You've got those to catch up on from
genuinely,
today.
shot tracers. Shot tracers are my Wednesday job. I know when that's
But
happening.
I need to give them the video ASAP.
But they don't need.
Okay, I'm exporting Marco now.
Just export the 720 version.
Yeah.
Upload it. We can send it to the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
Make sure they're happy with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Podcast. You want to do front 9 as well?
I'm doing. Yeah.
You got shot traces on Wednesday. It should probably take you half a morning.
Yeah, but
they're easy.
There's 22, so yeah.
How long would that take?
They're 6 minutes each.
6 minutes each. Okay.
So
I'm
6
I'm
minutes.
just
So
I'm
specific.
just making sure. So on Wednesday, I can actually turn around and say, "So, Kieran, what have you done today with
So
the rest of your 8 hours?"
6 times 20. 2.
Maths.
That works out about 6 hours.
I don't think it does.
I really, really don't think it
I
does.
don't think it does. Like, well, if you break it down, what's 6 times 10?
6 times 10 is an hour.
Okay.
So
you
an
double
hour
that.
6.
So that's
So
an hour.
4
That's
4.5 hours. 4.5 hours.
Hey Siri, what's 6 times 22?
It's 132.
Hey Siri, what's 132 minutes in hours? It's an hour.
It's not.
It's an hour. It's 2 hours and something. 2 hours and
Yeah.
something. Come on.
come on, Kieran.
Yeah,
60, 60.
Yeah, 2 hours, 12 minutes. But
So if you
That's-
put it in context, that this was recorded in May. What have you been doing? Like,
you've had 2 hours a lot of times.
like there's been a bit of spare time in there. Like,
honestly, generally,
what do you do with your weekend? Like,
I'd-
just do it on your weekend. What's wrong with you?
like you were in that pub today when Mick was uploading that video for like 2 hours. Like you could have easily done it in that time.
You know what? He's right.
Yeah, could have
No,
easily
actually,
slid in there.
Noah couldn't have because he was using my laptop.
I've got a laptop as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Got After Effects on there and everything.
yeah, it's not the same because you don't have my templates. You don't have the tracer templates.
Do you know what I'd love?
nothing.
Is for us to be having this conversation, right? And then the podcast just hard cuts.
Yeah.
Just in the middle of the... Great. Okay, we're going now. Bye.
Yeah, we're going.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Pete.
Yeah. All right. See you in a bit.